All right, 6:30, we'll start the meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we do already have an executive session on the agenda. Is there any other need to amend the agenda? Did you need to add something, you said?
No, it'll fit in, I think.
You think, okay.
Yep.
And then we do have, Brett is here from the school board. Some of it has to do with Caverly, but some of it has to do with, is it just like an overview, budget overview, or?
Budget overview, questions from you guys.
Okay.
A brief overview of Otter Valley and stuff that's happening there.
Okay.
And then a little bit of Burdick Fund stuff also.
Okay. So I think we can either add that as an agenda item or have it under public comment. What do you think makes more sense? We wouldn't be taking action. It could be an agenda item? I think so. Then, okay, so we'll add,
I would add it.
we'll add it, new business as
School board happenings
update.
is what I put it.
Any other need to amend the agenda? Can I have a motion then?
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Take your pick. Let's take the lead. I'll go second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, anything on the minutes of February 4th? We had select board and liquor board. Any corrections? Anything like that? Nope. Okay. All right, town manager's report.
I was at McClure Library on February 7th, met with a couple of citizens. I will be back there on March 28th at 10 a.m. To meet with citizens if they so wish. Baseball and softball registrations are live on my rec. I know many people have been asking about the rec summer day camp program. It is going to be happening. I'm waiting for the finalization of the last day of school so that we will have, so that we can plan the start date of summer camp. So I'm waiting for Wilthrop's principal to get back to me. She's hoping by the end of this week so that hopefully next week we can go live with summer camp registrations.
All right,
It will
great.
be for 7 weeks.
Okay, so soon to be with summer camp, but sports can be sign up right now.
Baseball and softball can be signed up for now. Summer camp, hold tight.
Okay.
It is coming. I've had
Yeah.
a lot of people asking. I want to assure people it is happening, it is coming. I'm just waiting on some final details with construction that they know is going to be happening at Lothrop and waiting on a finalized last day of school because of snow days. Okay. I'll make it short and sweet. There you go.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How is it coming with the rec board?
With
Or
the rec
rec
director.
positions? Yeah.
We are working on interviews. We have one scheduled for Friday, and then hopefully very shortly, we'll have a decision once the committee comes together after that interview to finalize.
Do you have enough for the committee? I had somebody interested, so.
We have 5 of us not together.
I think we should run down that rec board road again, once we get this
Yeah.
established. I had somebody volunteer the other day to be on it. so
No,
we
I've-
got one. We got one.
Well, we've got more than one.
All right, we got 2.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good
I've got
idea
like
to get
3.
that going.
So if we've got 3, I don't see why we can't
Yep.
put something back together.
I know, do we have policies, a policy regarding that? If we, should it be a certain number?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That one's an advisory board. It's not a, it's
They
not
don't
like a
take
quasi judicial
Yeah.
board or anything. It's not like the
No, I
planning.
just didn't know if it
There's
had
no
any-
statutory requirements
Yeah.
for that
All right,
one.
we get to that point. We'll give
Yeah.
you the
All right,
names.
cool.
Yep, thanks.
Any other questions for Ann? All right, any select board member remarks?
No, just glad to see they put the barricades up at the bridge. No, might prevent somebody else from going over.
Okay, public comment. Well, some people here are already on the agenda, so, Brett, maybe you want to speak now about, oh no, I added it to the agenda. Ignore me, I forgot already. Okay. Any other public comment? Then I think everybody is on the agenda then.
Is everybody signed in? I guess that's the only thing.
Okay. All right, well then let's, so we're gonna go out of order a little bit so that we're not keeping some people sitting here through what is a very lengthy agenda that we have tonight. So, so yeah, Brett, I'll let you go first and we'll go with, let's start with the school board update, and then we'll go from there. We can segue into the Caverly preschool discussion.
Yeah, sure, okay. So, of course, obviously, you know, we vote a week and a half or so. And the budget this year it's up 2.92% roughly. And Pittsford is in a, well, it's good and it's bad, right? So we would see roughly a 2-cent increase on the tax rate. That's lower than the rest of the towns, which means probably our property values are stable or going down a little bit relative, but 2 cents is better than other places, let's say.
Yeah.
And we are losing, I think it's roughly around 30 students from our long-term weighted daily admission, which is how the state kind of factors in how much money we get. And some of that's changes for, you know, free and reduced lunch, poverty levels, students of high need, second language learners, those sorts of things sort of carry more weight. So even though we're not losing that many students physically, that's the formula that they use to calculate how much money we get.
So it's not actual 30 students?
Right, yeah, so they do like, obviously every student counts as one at the K through 6 level. That's the easy one. But then there's additional student factors like if you're on free and reduced lunch, if it's English as a second language, students with high needs, you know, IEP students, those sorts of things. So those would count as more than one. And also I think high school students count as more than one, and oddly enough, preschool students count as less than one. So it's kind of a weird formula. So when they say average membership, that actually means nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
In addition, we, I say we, up here representing the board, we have been looking into one of maybe 2 bonds, right? One would be just to take care of deferred maintenance in Otter Valley, roughly $10 million. That would be, you know, pumps, electrical, plumbing, roof, you know, all the stuff under the hood that's getting a little bit aged there.
Amongst all the schools? Amongst all the schools? Or is that just for Otter Valley?
That would be just for Otter Valley, but that
10
really,
million?
that's what the estimate is. And the other potential bond that might be coming would be to pursue building a middle school, basically to bring the 6th graders out of the elementary schools and have a 6 through 8. That does align with how, you know, education standards are throughout most places. However, obviously, we do have some configuration constraints, you know, with the schools that we have. So likely, next November, there will be a vote on one of the 2 bonds. We don't know exactly which one, but those are the 2 options. And I believe from previous feedback, we've gotten some boards that were in favor of that and others that were very much against it.
Okay.
And of course, with Act 73, everything is up in the air right now too. You know, I think in the last week, there's been 3 different maps that have been circulated, all of which showed us in a different district. So we'll see where that all lands.
I know, and they still haven't made any decisions on school construction aid, which would also...
Which is a huge problem too.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Vermont has across the board. There's deferred maintenance that is, and actually we're in pretty good shape relative, which is good and bad if we're talking about $10 million for one building, right? I mean, they did do a deferred maintenance study on all the different schools. I think over the 10 years is something like 3.7 million. Neshabie was like 3 million. Yeah, so it's a really big problem that eventually is gonna come back to haunt us. And of course, the state can't seem to get out of their own way on anything education related, so everyone's sort of just sitting and waiting.
Okay.
So.
Question.
Yes.
Okay, so are they still looking at an addition on Otter Valley?
Yes. Yes. There's 3 different proposals. Basically, one would be an addition on the south side, and then there's 2 versions of an addition on the north side. Both proposals include an additional gymnasium, which is another kind of high need in the district right now. But all those proposals would incorporate bringing the 6th graders from their respective setting schools, Lothrop, Neshabie, OCA, to Otter Valley.
Okay. All right.
So the 10 million, does that include?
No. No, and the estimate that they're using is $700 per square foot. So depending on the size of the proposed addition, I mean, if you look at
Oh, so there's 3 different possible
yeah,
costs for
yeah, one would
piece.
include moving, well, the one that was more cost favorable would be the addition on the north side of the building. But there's 2 different options. One would include moving the library and one wouldn't.
Okay.
Obviously, if you move it, that's an additional cost associated with that. And it would be maybe more convenient to do that, but it's not the end of the world either way. And yeah, so however many square, I mean, if you look at what the cost has been for high schools that have been built, you know, starting with Burlington and some of the other smaller ones, it's somewhere between like $630 and $900 per square foot is what it's coming in at. So yeah, it's
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
All right.
But is this a state-driven plan to bring the middle school together?
No.
No.
No, so this is going back probably 10 years now, pre-pandemic. The district started doing, they had a committee that sort of looked at what is the state of our system and how can we make improvements. And the one thing that was identified as an area of need was to align, our curriculum now is 6 through 8, right? So you have 1 year of curriculum in one school and then 2 years of that same curriculum in another. And that makes it a little bit tricky for the administrators and for the staff to kind of, teach to the kids. And so the idea is that by aligning them, you potentially would get better outcomes, is sort of the idea. There's some things that have happened since then, right? We did use some of the federal dollars during COVID to kind of identify a space within Otter Valley to kind of create. It's obviously 7th and 8th, but there is a middle school area at Otter Valley that was sort of created with that federal money. So some things have changed since then, but yeah, that's what we're looking at.
All right.
And then the other thing that I want to bring up is, we haven't voted on it yet due to other things kind of preventing it from happening, but at some point, there's been a push for a lot of years to try to get handicap accessible bathrooms into the downstairs, the cafeteria area of the gym building or the old town hall, right? And so I believe we're going to be coming at some point with a request to access the Burnett Fund for, I think it was $280,000 to create those handicap accessible spaces in that area. So
Downstairs in the,
yeah, downstairs. Yeah, the bathrooms are interesting down there.
I've been in them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really old building, so yeah. Okay. So then, so I heard there was some work on the bathrooms in there this summer. Is that different? Are those the ones upstairs they're working on?
They did the ones upstairs maybe a couple years ago, I think.
So, all right, because that was,
confused
I know,
on-
because that was part of the conversation when trying to figure out dates and places
Well,
for summer camp.
Right, because that's where camp happens.
So they're just assuming, but they were making it sound like that was happening this summer.
Well, it's on the facility schedule to happen this summer, but they also identified it to be funded out of the Burnett Fund.
So they probably should ask for
Yeah,
it, so
that's
if
what
they're gonna.
funny.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to vote on it.
I know, that's,
It was on our agenda to vote on it, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago now.
okay,
And of course, you have to have all the Pittsford representatives there.
right,
And one of them had to leave early
Okay.
before we got to that.
Yeah,
point.
all
So
right.
that's why it hasn't happened.
okay. But like, are they, so if, just assuming we okayed the money, is that like everything's lined up? Like their plans are done, they have people lined up to do the work? Yes?
Great question. I would assume
That's
so.
what
I don't
they
know.
made-
They haven't said otherwise.
It just seems
According-
unusual, like a backwards situation here,
Yeah.
but,
According to the conversation I had with the Lothrop principal, she's checking in with the facilities manager, I think his name's Rich or something,
Yeah.
that oversees the district, and they're having a meeting this week to figure out scheduling and all of that, so,
interesting.
and that's one of the holdups with.
Is that already in, do they have that money earmarked in the budget in case we said no to the Burt? Like, are they just planning on taking it out of somewhere else, like the facilities fund?
Yeah, that would be my guess. I mean, I don't know what happened in the event that, we said no, but
Yeah,
it is something that's been kind of, so Melanie Parker's been kind of been the one that's been spearheading this for years, trying to get this to happen, because it is, like,
oh,
those bathrooms are pretty bad. And actually, I think it's taken her a really long time to get through administration to get to this point. So
yeah, okay.
I would hope that either way, they continue to do the project, but,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm against it, it's just,
Yeah.
if they're banking on using the Burt fund, it just, yeah.
So the 280 is for revamping the bathrooms only?
Yeah, and I think the reason why it's so
Well,
high is because
door
there's a
too,
lot of
right?
concrete involved there. So I don't know what they're gonna have to do with the plumbing and what that's gonna entail, but
No bid contract or what?
I assume they're gonna go to competitive bid, but I don't know.
Is that door already,
It's kind of putting
is that
the
door
horse
already,
before the
like,
cart before the horse.
accessible? Like, does it open on its own? I don't know what that's.
Downstairs.
Right, isn't it on the
I
one-
don't think it opens on its own.
Is it, would that be part of that
I don't know.
air money,
Who's planning
anyway?
on their part of it?
Well, that's what I'm saying, I would assume it's like not just the bathrooms, but getting to,
Right.
to the bathrooms.
But
so.
obviously that entryway down below is accessible. I don't know if the door opens on its own. That might
Yeah.
be-
I didn't know if that was even a I don't know.
Yeah.
what the ADA requirements
It's
are.
not a part of an ADU requirement.
No.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
okay,
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, right now it's, yeah.
all right. Okay, and then
And then I don't know if you want to talk about Caverly.
I do, and then, but just before we finish, so the Burdett piece too, so is that, I mean, are you now, so is that the formal request now at this point, or?
No, we
you
haven't
just-
voted on it yet.
Oh,
so
that's-
I
okay, you
can't
did
make
say
a
that.
formal request.
We have to have
Okay.
a written request anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they know everyone knows the
Yeah.
process, right?
It has to
Okay.
start with us,
Yep,
and we just haven't done it yet because of budget stuff and other things, but.
okay,
Yeah, I just wanted to get it on your guys' radar now
Yeah.
because it is a short timeline if it's going to happen.
yeah. All right, and then, yeah, does anyone else have any questions about that or any of what Brett already said before we move on to the Caverly discussion?
Or comments or questions for me to take back to the rest of the board.
Has the design work been done? Is there an architect involved or is this just
Yeah.
a sketch here? I mean,
Yeah, honestly, I don't know, right? So we reviewed it as part of our facilities fund, as the list of things that are going to be happening. How far they've gotten into it, if there's a design, I mean, I know that we obviously
they're
have,
tossing around figures, but
they must have an estimate, and maybe that includes doing the design work as part of that estimate, I don't know.
Bathrooms are being done there.
I think there's 3 down there now, and it would turn into 2 accessible bathrooms.
I mean, I think the comment I would make is, this is a small house here, $280,000. I'm a little alarmed.
I might share your opinion.
Well, I assume when with that formal request comes, actually, I don't know, as you're a trustee of public funds, would part of that formal request not only be
No, it
the
would-
request,
You know, as
why,
to
but
what
would
the
it
money,
have
what they
all,
want the money.
it would have like the specs and all, like,
Normally they would.
okay, so we'll see that, yeah, so I don't know, maybe we wanna,
It should be in detail to the,
I think of a comment you could take back is, it looks to me like they're doing it backwards
Yeah,
here.
they've got the
And I
cart.
think they should really
For
put
the
things
horse.
out there so everyone's aware of what's going on. At least the taxpayers should know what they're gonna make happen. We don't even know how it's gonna be funded or anything. I think that needs to be put out a little clearer.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty
And they may
prominent.
have just decided that they're gonna fund it out of the facilities fund if the Burger Fund doesn't cover it. I don't know.
Yeah, but also the other stuff too.
Well, and I would also, and I know, I've said this at a school board meeting at least once, if not twice, but you could, bring it back too, just to remind everybody, like, even the millions of dollars in deferred maintenance at Lothrop shouldn't exist, because there should be some regular upkeep with the Burdett money. Like, it's always interesting to me that nobody's asked for Burdett money since the lights, and that wasn't even the
The
school
heating
board, that
system.
was the,
Yeah, that was
The
the
heating system.
football club.
down there.
so, yeah, Lori?
Just a question to Brett, and to everyone, the Burdett Fund, if Pittsford puts out something, it's still all the representatives from all the towns that have to approve before the money can be spent?
It's-
Or can it
It's-
just be
I forgot how many
Pittsford?
members on that board have to, the 5 or 7.
It's the majority of the OBUU board,
And it
Right,
has
so
to be
it's not just
unanimous
Pittsburgh.
vote.
all of the Pittsburgh
It's a unanimous
representatives.
vote from this board.
Yes.
One no vote kills the whole thing.
Yeah, so it's complicated to get that money.
Yeah.
And it's been difficult, I think, to try and get that money. So but are people counting on getting that money for the bathroom project, Brett? Is that
Well,
what's-
that's a good question. I don't know if they'll shelve it, if there isn't the money. I don't know.
It's just an interesting question, because that's a hard money to get at.
It is. I just think that, and it might not, you're right. The process isn't super easy, and a lot of people have to get on board,
Yeah.
but they're never asking for it.
I know.
You can't hear a yes if you don't ask, so.
Yeah.
And it is our Pittsford building. I would like to not see it, run into the ground because they're not asking for money that,
Well, there's a lot of things. I mean, if I take off my board hat and put on my Pittsburgh resident hat, right? I mean, they applied for and got a grant to get stage lighting years ago. But it's never been put in because they didn't have the money to do the install. So for like 10 years
Oh.
now, there's been $25,000 worth of stage lights sitting in a warehouse.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very
And-
disappointing.
And, I mean, if we maybe segue seamlessly into the Caverly discussion, right? I mean, there's been really no plan, and I think the comment that we've sort of got at the board is, we're gonna put in one swing and kind of grow the playground from there, but if there actually is a plan to move Caverly over to Lothrop, then there's really no reason that the kids should have to give up anything. They just need to come up with a plan and ask for some money in order to make that happen. So, and again, if I take my board hat off and sit here as Pittsford resident, we also have to acknowledge the fact that even though the Burdett funds can really only be used to benefit Pittsford students, they do benefit the entire district because that's that much facilities money that's not needed and can be used at other schools.
Well, exactly. So I just find it interesting that they're always using taxpayer money before even asking for Burdett money. Like even when they just replaced all the windows at Caverly and put that fence up, they never asked us for any money for that. Like all taxpayers paid for that across the whole district. So it's just interesting to me. I don't know what people would like to talk about Caverly. We've talked, it's been
Hot topic.
hot topic. So I don't know if you want to update people or if you want me to. We were all at the meeting, but last night.
So at the meeting last night, Caverly wasn't really on the agenda officially, but
Like it wasn't when they voted to close it.
Exactly.
Sorry.
so I got to be careful a little bit.
I know.
So the board's action last night was basically to affirm what happened in the previous meetings. So meaning starting January 6th and then the 2 meetings afterwards leading up to last night. And essentially that was in reference to your letter, Alicia. And so officially, the board's stance is that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, yeah. So for those who don't know, I did actually, so verbally during multiple meetings, me and other people had pointed out that they had violated open meeting laws, but they weren't really responding to it, so I did
Formal?
sent something formally with, Vermont state statutes cited, and they went into executive session, so obviously I don't know what was discussed, but they came out and said they didn't think they'd violated open meeting laws. When I say they, there really is only 5 people on the board that, including the chair, that are really sticking to.
Which clearly they were in violation of state law.
Yeah, and even I think at last night's meeting when they voted to, was it affirm? Was it affirm? Was that the wording used?
reaffirm?
Ratify.
Ratify, thank you.
Might be, yeah.
You can't ratify a vote that wasn't legal
Done, legally done.
to begin with, so this whole thing is still,
This whole thing could get real messy.
it's already pretty messy, so, yes.
I think people need to understand too, because I wrote a letter, several people did write letters that were given a couple of weeks ago, back when we had another meeting there. And I called the Secretary of State's office and wanted to know who to address the violation to. And they basically said, you send it to them, to the board. And I said, really? And she said, yeah, it's all in good faith. And I said, well, I haven't quite seen good faith here. Okay, and so my letter went in, and then she sent me this whole, Alicia has it, the statute. Basically, if they don't respond, that means that they were in the right.
They
So, of
think they
course,
were
I
in the
never
right,
heard
you mean,
from them.
yeah.
And that if we want to go further, you go to, it's a civil matter? Goes
Yeah,
to-
so it'll go to litigation.
And that's the only option you have. So
Right.
basically, they do what they want, and they get away with it. And
Well,
that's
no,
what's
they
been
don't get away
going
with
Not
it because
getting
they're
away
gonna
with
go to litigation.
They're gonna go to
Well,
litigation.
they've been
and find
getting away
themselves in
with
court.
it, and that's why we're here.
They've been getting, yes, up till now. And people have been doing a good job, though, of showing up at all the meetings, too, because I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
important, because that's, I think they're
definitely
used to, nobody shows up at the board meetings, because, let's be real, none of this is fun, coming to these meetings, right? But it's important stuff, so, people are coming, and that's good. There's been a lot of good coming out of it, and then, Caitlin Hill is now, running for school board. She's gonna be running as a write-in, just so everyone is aware. And I don't know what else to personally say about Caverly, except that, I'm gonna keep on. I mean, I think everyone here has heard that, but I did talk to Secretary of State's office, the Vermont School Board Association, and the Education Secretary for the state of Vermont, who all said that this was a violation, like when I told them the situation, verbatim said that it was a violation of open meeting laws. And even at one prior school board meeting, so the attorney was never there, but they made it sound like she had asked them to rescind and revote, if I'm correct. Brett, this was at a couple meetings ago. And
Yeah,
then
to
even
rescind.
to where when the clerk was keeping track of, all the motions, she actually stopped and said, wait, you're gonna go against legal advice? Or the advice of your attorney? So, that was said in an open meeting. Anyways, they're just plugging along, again, half the board, not Brett. And not Kevin White, our other rep, who have been amazing, just so everybody knows. But there's like half of the board that's just really digging in their heels for some reason. I don't know, I can't just admit you made a mistake and rectify it,
I'd
but,
like to see the chair of that board come address us, myself.
I doubt that'll happen, but.
Could be requested.
So that's kind of the updates. I think everyone knows here, you have the support of this board. I don't know if anybody, I know there's people on Zoom as well, if anybody has anything that they want to add. No? Anybody else want to?
I've heard a number of things, but what is the reasoning behind closing Caverly?
Good question, I wish I knew.
Is it the condition of the facility? Is it a safety issue?
No. Well, actually, Caverly's in pretty good shape, so I think the
Yes, it
furnace
is.
was
Probably the
replaced
best of
maybe
our
3 or 4
buildings.
years ago, and then the windows a couple years after that. Playground is, I don't know, maybe 10 years old, but it's in pretty good shape, and the fence is like a year or 2.
Fence is
Close.
new.
Yeah. So, overall, the facility's in decent shape. I mean, relative to all the schools, I think it's in pretty good shape. It really is about, and it really doesn't save a tremendous amount of money. I mean, we're talking 13,000 on a budget of 29 million. But what it would allow is for the students who are at Caverly to receive potentially more services, from special educators, speech language pathologists. It would open up the opportunity maybe for more things like music and art. It is preschool, so it's more or less an art class all day, but
I know.
yeah. So that's real, and so like right now they have to deliver the lunches over there. We all know it's not that big of a town, so it's not the end of the world, but it does add an additional time. So that was what their argument for the move was about, trying to maximize the services that they can offer to the kids that are there. And I guess kids at Lothrop too, right? Because I mean, if, that's, let's say 10 minutes driving back and forth total that they can't be working directly with a student, so. Now, is that worth it? I couldn't think, but
That's gonna be a hard one to show.
Yeah.
Can I just add something
Yeah.
to that?
Sure.
So my daughter currently attends Caverly, and I've heard that argument before about kids will be able to get their services. So, and I said this at the board meeting when I spoke, and I told them, I said, my child is on an IEP. She gets her services there. It's actually illegal not to give them their services. So that argument completely just falls flat, in my opinion. It's not really a valid argument.
Yeah.
well, I'm going to take my school board hat off again. I'm going to put my Pittsford resident hat back on because I also am the parent of a special needs child. I'm sitting right here, and it used to be that they had for the preschools dedicated special education staff, right? They had their own special educators, their own speech language pathologists, and as the years have gone on, it's hard to find staff, but two, they've also kind of whittled away at the number of positions, and so now I think really the special ed staff is stretched very, very thin. And that's not a good reason to close a school, but it is a reality.
Right. Yeah. No, I can see that. And out of all the reasons, where they've kind of gone back and forth, anytime anyone's pushed back and then they've come up with another reason, it's the only one that has some validity to it. But again, when you put it in like this in this column and then the other column of all the positives of maintaining it, it just doesn't,
That's flying.
So, right. So I guess as it stands now too, if anybody has concerns, there's been some of us that have been going to all the meetings and have been very vocal about what's going on. There's been a lot of parents that have been great about writing these great letters and speaking up at board meetings. And there's some at RNES, the RNESU meet is tonight and OVUU was last night. And I know the superintendent and some of the school board members are kind of making the rounds. I think they're in Brandon this Saturday.
Yeah, I think, aren't they coming
Brandon and Leicester, and then next Saturday is Pittsford and,
at the transfer station?
Hanging out the dump.
yeah, they're going, so they will be at the Pittsford dump on the 28th, I think that is.
Yeah.
And then, I guess,
gonna be
did we
there?
not bring, what,
Who's
so,
gonna be there?
Was it the superintendent that's gonna be there?
yeah, so the 28th at the Pittsford
Yeah.
transfer station. So feel free to tell him how you feel. 8:30 a.m. he'll be there at the
It's only an
on the
hour, right, that
28th.
he's there?
I only put the start time as 8:30,
I think he's only
so.
there for an hour. It's
Okay.
it's a pretty short window.
No, that's
so.
good to know. So I think, I'll be there. And then, what are some other, and then the big budget meeting is,
Next Wednesday.
I'm jumping ahead, I'm all, okay, yeah, so 6:30 in the Otter Valley Auditorium is the budget meeting that everyone should come to. That would be great. All right, I think, anything else about Caverly? We have some more to talk about in executive regarding Caverly, but as far as in the open meeting, anybody want to say anything or add anything? Yeah.
I'd speak for myself, but I think I can speak for most of the parents that are at Caverly, and just saying thank you all for your support, for trying to keep it open, and thank you, Brett, as well. Yeah, it's sad to see, to not get answers from the board with so much outcry from a community, you know, and they're just putting a deaf ear to it and pretty much saying, well, we don't care. That's what it seems like to me, and the vote, you know, last night was pretty much, well, I can't say exactly what I want to say, but it was like they just went, we don't really care what anybody thinks, this is what we did, and, you know, it's, I don't know, very childish, it seems to me, not be able to swallow somewhat, you know, your pride, we didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yes, thank you all very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Just one last thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, as another parent of a child at Caverly right now at Lowbrook, we had a chance to visit a concert last Thursday, the 12th, at Lowbrook with all the primary kids. And it was great to see the space, but I couldn't help but notice the old adjoining kindergarten room is already set up with big bubbly letters saying Lowbrook Pre-K, welcome.
Really?
Colors on the wall, round tables, and so whether that's a sign of their resignation or embracing this option, it's nice to know that other people have not already succumbed to that. So again,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Wow. Well, they got their big show and tell on March 9th.
I know,
Yes. Yeah.
They think they forget the voters have a lot of power.
I know. Budget
And
hasn't passed
They probably
yet.
are gonna find out that pretty soon.
Right.
That's all I gotta say.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I know, and I've also said this, I'm repeating myself, but this issue has become bigger than Caverly at this point, just to have, again, half the board, not the whole board, I gotta be careful about, keep saying the board. Half the board just really,
Doesn't
know.
care.
Dysfunction.
yeah, I don't even know,
Dysfunctional.
just
Dysfunctional.
disenfranchised, you know, so many parents, voters, taxpayers, yeah, for no,
They forget who they
for
work
no,
for.
yeah, for no reason. So, yeah, so,
Well, that's why I was looking for the reasoning behind it, because I would guess that most of the reasons for moving Caverly could be addressed in a different way.
I think, and that was brought up too, that if it could have been really everybody sitting down and actually explaining to the parents and taxpayers and, you know, citizens, and just like, hey, this is really gonna make sense because X, Y, and Z, and have these be valid reasons, that maybe people still would not be happy about it, but maybe it would be not such a contentious issue. But to just be like, nope, we're doing it,
Make some sense out of it.
you know? But, because I think that the other thing is too, is that the chair of the school board has been quoted over the months of budget talks as thinking that closing, because it wasn't just Caverly, it was Whiting Preschool too. Closing the preschools and getting them all into the elementary schools, and then getting the 6th graders out into the middle school at Otter Valley is kind of like
That's what I'm saying.
switching up our numbers enough so that with this whole Act 73, that we would be maybe in a stronger position to not have forced consolidation on us. But I don't think that that's how that's gonna work out when they're talking about districts of 2,000 to 4,000. What do we have in our whole entire district, 1,200 kids?
Yeah.
So I don't think just, that's why, like, potentially destroying this like amazing preschool, because you might add, what, 30, 40 kid, you know, add some number, you know?
To a formula.
I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Remember, Pre-K isn't even a whole person.
Well, you're right. So you're right. Now that I'm hearing that, I just don't really.
So you gotta wash.
It's not that they're not fun.
I know. No, we get it.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, Act 73 is also sort of, the framework has said we want regional high schools, but local elementary schools, right? So the idea is that towns get to keep their kids at least until they're ready to go a little bit further
Right.
away.
And give us back our elementary school.
Well, that's why I'm thinking, and I think they're doing this backwards. They're gonna mess with pre-K through 5th, 6th to save the high school when we're going regional, and we got Rutland and Middlebury right on either side of us that already have big new schools with CTEs. I mean, I don't know.
Big issue.
I'll stay quiet on Act 73.
And Act 73 is a mess, and I won't stay quiet on the fact that the state has created all kinds of chaos for everybody. It's been really chaotic.
Yeah.
But instead, when I look at what other school districts are doing, they're all like getting together and joining and trying to figure this out, and our school board is just
Not doing anything.
just like,
But I'm not sure
I
that
don't
any
know.
of those efforts are really gonna matter, right? I mean, every week we see a different map. And, we invited the senators, and then Peter Conlon from Cornwall
Yep.
was at our meeting last night. And they're telling us that they're still trying to figure out what their key goals are for Act 73. And I had to call them on it and be like, you passed this last year. How do you not know what your goals
I
are?
know.
And what it becomes is a scapegoat for everything that's wrong with education. It's just, well, we gotta wait for Act 73, and we gotta wait for this, we gotta do that. And it puts everyone in this terrible position because the state won't take a leadership role. They only go halfway. Everything they do, it only goes halfway.
This is a reoccurring problem. We're
All the
dealing
way
with
back to
Act
Act 60.
Act 250.
Act 181 we're dealing with tonight is another one that
Yeah.
was passed to see what would happen. And it really isn't a good way to do government.
No.
Well, thank you for
Yeah,
your
I know.
service there.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
We're going to move on to another agenda item unless anybody else, I just want to make sure everybody on Zoom, if anybody had anything they wanted to say before we move on to the next agenda item. All right, well, thank you. Thank you, Brett. All right, we're going to move on to the resolution to uphold the constitutions of the United States and Vermont. So, we had at the last thank you. At the last meeting, you were kind enough to let us move it to this meeting. So, Ernie, would you like to speak and remind me about kind of where we left it? Because I know, so we had the resolution that you gave us.
Right.
Then we came up with a resolution, and it wasn't exactly what you were hoping for. So I'm wondering if what we can,
Neither one of them was discussed.
okay.
Anyway, you heard from many of us about how important our common commitment to the Constitution is. We appreciate your resolve to protect our constitutional rights, as stated in your abbreviated version of our original resolution. But now we'd like to hear from you about what questions and objections you have to our original resolution. You've had time to think about it, so.
Okay, yeah. All right, let's see. I guess, overall, I didn't have a huge issue with,
Do you all have copies of the original?
yeah, I
don't
know,
know
I
if
guess
I have
that's
a
maybe
copy
where
of
we
the
should have started.
Original.
Yeah.
I have
I need
this
a
one.
copy.
I don't have it
If
with
you
me.
could,
Yeah.
probably buried somewhere in here.
No, I didn't include it in this week's package.
I have one, thank you.
I have one in my office.
Okay.
So I guess for me, I don't know, discussing what's going on with the federal authorities, just because I haven't been paying attention enough to be honest with you, because I've really focused on the municipal and state level, that I don't want to sign my name to something that's saying that, of things that happen that I don't know firsthand, like what detail, like what exactly happened. And then I'll tell you this line, and this is not just to this situation. I've heard this in a couple different areas, but the silence of public officials amounts to complicity. I've never been that concept in general. I don't know. It always hits me the wrong way. I've heard that in other areas where I don't know, didn't feel right to me. And I just think again with with what the select board's purview is, I think 100% can get behind, you know, obviously the Constitution, of course, and then,
It goes without saying.
yeah, well, so that's what, which we said we would be happy to sign and do, and we also said we were happy to I lost my,
This is the new one.
No, she has a
no,
copy of the
she's,
oath.
I do
Oh.
it, it's the oath, that's what, she knew what I was talking
Oh,
about.
okay. I don't-
And then we were happy to redo our oaths, which, I lost. Is that the only one, Ann?
I can go to my office and find another one. I
sorry.
think.
But my point is, we've never discussed it.
No, so we could, that's why yeah, so I guess that's what I thought we were doing now.
Okay. If I can continue.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
3 weeks ago, in light of the federal government crackdown in Minnesota resulting in the killing of 2 American protesters, our governor issued a statement strongly condemning this federal police action. Enough, said Governor Scott. It is not acceptable for American citizens to be killed by federal agents for exercising their God-given and constitutional rights to protest their government. This is a strong statement. Our original resolution put before the board acknowledges and condemns this violence against innocent people. The abbreviated resolution offered by you does not. As well as reaffirming our constitutional rights, we are asking you to acknowledge and condemn the actions of these masked and armed federal forces, striking fear in the hearts of innocent people, entering their homes without a warrant, injuring them by pushing them to the ground. We are asking you to follow Governor Scott's example of leadership and courage by taking our concerns about these abuses of federal power seriously. Not condemning these abuses leaves the door open to similar violations taking place against anyone who disagrees with those in power.
so I told you, yeah, so, and I am fine with signing a resolution that, again, reaffirms. Here's the one that we had. We, the Select Board of the Town of Pittsford, Vermont, promise to uphold both the United States Constitution and the Vermont Constitution. This is part of our oath of office that we pledge every time we are elected or re-elected to our positions within the Select Board for the Town of Pittsford. Be it further resolved that the Select Board of the Town of Pittsford affirms its unwavering commitment to protecting the constitutional rights of all people in our town. Which is what we had.
But that doesn't acknowledge the damage already done by the federal government.
Because we have no sway or power over the federal government, so I'm not sure why that would be the line in the sand.
It's an ongoing adjudication of what is going on. And some of the things being mentioned, although this group and other groups might think it is a violation of human rights or civil rights or legal rights, until the court acts on it, it's not. And I mentioned before that we're not even a quasi-judicial board when it comes to issues of the Constitution, and I don't think I'm wrong in that. We do not have the right to,
We are quasi.
I don't think so when it comes to issues of the Constitution. That can
Federal
only be
government?
done
No.
in the court.
No, we have no control at all there.
And,
Picture we are.
although this group bringing this resolution represents one side of an issue, there are other citizens in this town and elsewhere that might have opposing views, and I assume would have opposing views. So that's my opinion on this.
If I could, your feelings on this are well noted, and we see it, and I think everyone has their right to have a feeling on anything on this. I think the board has zero effect on the federal government. We don't even have an effect in the state. We're fighting them all the time trying to get through stuff, and I think I mentioned that before. We respect all of your opinions on this, without a question. But as Dan pointed out, this is a polarizing issue that divides people right down the middle, and there's a lot of people that do feel differently, and I think we have to respect them as well. I think we don't have a problem with doing our resolution that's written up here. to uphold the Constitution, we will. And there's some solid points in here, and some of them in there are, there's rights to people whether they're citizens or not.
Yes.
But there's also differences when it comes down to the immigration status in their rights. If they are already illegal, I looked this up after you brought it up to me last time, it is different. I really, honestly, I don't want to get into debate over something that we really don't have a lot of control over. And I don't have any problem reassuring, but I respect all of your opinions. But I also respect some of the other people who have said things to us about it too.
Well, it's too bad they're not here.
Yes, Donna, but that is true. But not everybody wants to come and say something. And I think we have to also remember we're trying to work with everyone here, I think is the point. And we're willing to do this, which I think says we do understand. We might not sit here and do every line item that Ernie's mapped out in this. True, we might not want to go that far. But we're willing to stand behind what's basic in rights here. And how that debate goes is up to our voters, so, thank you.
Okay.
Hold on, Lori, sorry, Lori was waiting. She had her hand up.
Well, I really appreciate sitting here, and I felt the segue to this discussion from listening to Brett and talking about what's going on with us trying to say we are a town and we are a democracy in our town. We want to hang on to it. So all day I've been thinking about what I wanted to articulate. So I think the agreement about ICE is pretty clear. We don't like the abuses. That's
Right.
laid into the text of the first document that we showed you. But we also, well beyond that, we've got this question of the violation of 3 parts of government, where really only one part of our government right now is taking charge and in my opinion, taking away our sense of democracy. I want to be in a country where we can get together like we are now and hash stuff out, and yet freedom of speech is being violated. You know, there's an effort on the part of the administration to shut down different commentators and the Washington Post and, you know, all these different pressures on people to not speak. So Stephen Colbert is one person, and you can agree with him or not agree with him, but he's only one example. And the person who worked for the New York Times, whose house was in, you know, the FBI took all her computers and her phones and things like that. Those are rights that are behind the way we talk to each other. And when those are violated, so to me, it's the First Amendment. It's who's going to set tariffs, and do we, you know, the Congress is supposed to decide that, but yet it hasn't been that way. It's in the Constitution. So it's like we all agree with the Constitution, but how do we make sure that others know we agree with the Constitution, even though there is an oath that you all take? I want to feel like if it starts to hit our town, and there's something that limits our ability to sit and talk together, that I know that you all have our backs as citizens, that you will say that we really believe in the Constitution, because our intrinsic rights to speak with one another would be in violation. And I really always enjoy coming down here, because I don't always agree with what anyone says, but my mind is always opened by what I hear. And the conversation about who's going to decide what schools we can offer our kids, that is so important, you know, for us to be able to say we own our sense of democracy.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Very, very well said.
100%, which, and the way that you brought that back to this local level, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is like,
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable with this federal piece in this. If we talk about how we actually do this here in Pittsford, then
Right.
that's what I think we can all get behind without it.
Well, I think we have to say in the Constitution, and Ernie's points about people being shoved to the ground and injured, and eventually 2 citizens of the U.S. shot, those are violations of people's civil rights. So this original document maybe goes into that in more detail.
So just
You know?
to counter that, you know,
Yeah.
from, and this is purely for debate, does that apply to the people that set up roadblocks in Minnesota and pulled people out of their cars if they wouldn't tell them where they were going? Those were public people doing that. I mean, we've got problems on both sides with how this is being
Yeah, no,
implemented.
We can,
But what I'd like to say is we can go around in circles. I'm more upset that the state's trying to tell us what to do with our preschool. I'm more
It's the
upset.
same
No,
thing,
no,
Mark.
no, it's not. We need to pay attention to what's going on in our state.
No, I agree.
Because they're violating our rights
Yeah.
every moment, what's coming down.
Right, and I'm just, since we're having a good conversation in a civil way,
Yeah.
I think it's a piece of a greater national problem right now. And so it's really important to say we all believe in the Constitution, even though you may disagree with any number of political policies
Just making
or
a point
whatever.
on balance, you know, I mean, we've got problems both ways on
We
that.
do, yeah.
I've got a real problem with not knowing what our school's gonna be. I don't have a real problem with what our taxes are gonna be.
Well, we
And
know your responsibilities rest there.
we're being violated
Yeah.
by our own state that we really, I mentioned this before, I think we need to channel this passion up to Montpelier.
Yeah.
Because,
It's, yes, and we want to protect that we can, but I'm worried that we can't impact these bigger things that could come down and bite our necks, the back of our necks.
well said.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So, I know.
But, you know, I'm willing to make a motion for the document we put together. And I'll let, there,
we can discuss it
yeah,
after the
let's
motion.
finish what we're doing now. And if somebody wants to second it, it's fine,
I
we can
second.
have some more deductions. So I'd like to make a motion that we move on the resolution as rewritten from before and you just read.
Are you ending discussion?
No, we're gonna,
Discussion
well,
after the second, so.
I'll second it.
okay. So now further discussion amongst the board before bringing it back to,
I don't have an issue with either one. I would sign either resolution.
okay.
I don't have a problem with Ernie's, and I don't have a problem with that one.
Okay.
That's my stance. I said that originally.
Yeah. And I would just say that I think, well, I guess I've already said my piece. I just wanted to, the federal piece, I just don't know if it's this, the purview of this board, but the meetings, every time you guys have all stood up and read your letters and spoke, and it was just eloquent, and it's beautiful, and I definitely feel that. I just been living in this bubble where I'm like Pittsford, and then where I'm in the state house and dealing with state stuff. I kind of purposefully ignore federal things, to be honest with you. It's the stuff that happens, because, you know, people are really, that could go either way, as far as I know, people have different feelings about that, but, you know, when people are kind of concerned about federal stuff that's not happening here, and then not, I don't know, then ignoring things that are happening at the local level,
Don't
I think
stop
can be,
it there, it's gonna be here.
so,
Ernie has something to say.
oh, go ahead, yeah.
Okay,
Ernie, or Don? Yeah.
all right, so, you know, I haven't spoken about this at all, and I just see our country is so divided now, it's kind of sad. I think of my grandson and what he's coming into, you know, the violence that I see and what's going on, and then I got Time Magazine, the siege of an American city. And I mean, I think it is important that we go ahead with this resolution that Ernie put forward, because I think it doesn't stop with the citizens, the people in our country. It's our public officials also that really need to step up, as Governor Scott did. And the mayor of Minnesota, I loved his quote. He said, if we do not speak up, if we do not step out, it will be your city that is next. And that's what I see. I mean, I just think we have to take a strong view here. And I mean, and I don't think that 4th paragraph really says that you as a board are complicit to this at all. It says the silence of public officials in the face of such abuses amounts to complicity, and failure to act now will only embolden those who seek to dismantle the rule of law and divide our communities. So I think, you know, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I'd just like to ask a quick hypothetical.
Sure.
I think this kind of gets to the root of why we're asking for this resolution. As I think most of you who have watched the news realize that ICE has been going into areas with primarily Democratic leadership. Vermont is likely, and already there's discussions in Burlington this past week about preparing for an expectation of a similar surge here in Vermont. We have a lot of foreign workers in Vermont in our hospitality industry and agriculture who are potentially the right products that happened in Maine. And you saw what happened in Maine, including their Republican senator who pushed back very hard and put a stop to it relatively quickly. It still happened there. And so I think part of what we're looking for here is an understanding of, if that comes here, how are you going to respond in representing us in that discussion? Because right now, I don't know that we have the confidence that you would stand up in the way that we feel you strongly need to be prepared to do. And is there a way you could make us comfortable with that?
What are we supposed to say to the other side of this issue, those people? If we sit here and say, we're gonna represent, we're gonna stand up for the liberal side of this whole question.
No,
Excuse me,
no.
excuse me, do not try to label me, because I am not what you think I am. In fact, I'm told by my wife all the time, I am way too conservative. That's not the point, but there is a point, a simple, true moral justice. And when you have people with masks on, going in and conducting themselves as a quasi-paramilitary force in this country, they're already in Rutland. There was a nice car that was spotted in downtown Rutland this last week by friends of ours. They're here, and we know that they're here. They've been here. And just, if, I'm asking you, if those groups with the masks on and jacket vests on, and they're marching through Pittsford, are you going to tell me that that is okay with you? And if so, then that's, I think, where the root of the problem is, and we can't expect more than what we've got.
I was at Home Depot the other day, early in the morning, and there was a car from Washington State there. All the windows were blacked out. They pulled over a couple of guys who were coming out of Home Depot. You know, they were people of color. And they took their pictures. They didn't do anything else, but they took their pictures, and then they drove away. This is frightening. Right in Rutland, you know. You go up into Addison County where there are a lot of dairy farms, you'll see a lot fewer cars parked outside these places. I don't know how they're making milk anymore, but there are a lot fewer cars parked outside these places. And I don't know, you know, where they're getting workers from to do the work on the farm, but if Trump has his way, it's going to be the death of the agricultural system in this country. Nobody wants to do that work.
So Ernie, I'm on those farms every day. There's plenty of workers there. They all have to present the proper identification to be hired, and the farmers have to go through their whole steps. Are they all correct? I don't know. But you're correct. If we didn't have those workers, the dairies wouldn't be running. And they're all there. I see them every day. They're full shot on every farm. But they do make visits to those places sometimes too when there's violations.
That's
So, just
causing
to answer
people
that
to live in-
question.
That's causing people to live in fear. That's not the kind of America I want to live in.
Can I just hop in here? Sure. I mean, we're all in this town. I think you might remember 2 weeks ago, I started by saying, I don't want to talk about politics. I don't know, but I don't care about that stuff. But if our police department started wearing masks and didn't identify themselves and started breaking windows, you guys would be pissed off. Every one of you, and every one of us would be too. We don't have any control over the federal government. That's true. But democracy is fragile. It's by consensus. You saw that because it's falling apart. Right? And how we conduct ourselves locally makes a difference on all levels. So that's why we're asking for these kinds of
Thank you, no, I get that. I do understand that, I guess, yeah. I feel like I do that all the time in my roles as both a select board member and a state rep. So I guess that's where I'm just, I make sure everyone is heard, and democracy is very important to me. I guess then I would bring back that question to, what is it about what I read that you feel doesn't make you feel confident in our protection?
Please read it again.
We, the Select Board of the Town of Pittsford, Vermont, promise to uphold both the United States Constitution and the Vermont Constitution. This is part of our oath of office that we pledge every time we are elected or re-elected to our positions within the Select Board for the Town of Pittsford. Be it further resolved that the Select Board of the Town of Pittsford affirms its unwavering commitment to protecting the constitutional rights of all people in our town.
I guess my opinion would be that that's a really good statement. I would like to have it address the fact that there's some concern in our population that those guarantees of democracy and of the Constitution may be in peril.
Okay.
And I think that's something we can all agree on. Whether
Add that to it.
party you're in or what you're thinking.
Yeah, the second and third paragraph.
I think.
So it would be language like, somewhere, we acknowledge that, that democracy in America is at risk, and therefore we pledge to continue to support the Constitution, but without as much focus on the detail that's in the first one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think,
Dan, who's going to ask you? What do you think about that?
I'm sorry, my mind was somewhere else. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So, I don't blame you.
So,
Marty's got his hand up still.
oh, yeah.
I think if we don't all vigorously condemn the illegal actions of our federal government, things will only get worse. I don't want to have to, I don't want our grandchildren in 5 or 7 years to ask why we didn't do anything to stop this authoritarian power grab, which is what it is.
I know. I'm really trying to find something that everyone is gonna, if we want the whole board to sign it, I am just trying to work with the versions to get something.
What?
Hold on, Melanie wanted to.
No, that's okay, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Hi. So what you said about people feeling that they're in peril, I think really it has to do with reassurance that you understand that people feel in peril and that you're ready to support them.
Okay.
Was that the gist of what you?
Yes, yes.
Can you suggest a line like, we acknowledge the concerns, we acknowledge the...
We acknowledge that people in our community may feel at peril.
The second and third paragraph of the original actually say, I think, everything that we need.
Actually, the third paragraph.
Is that the one that you had, Carrie?
Yeah, second and third.
The second and third.
Yeah,
Right.
second and third.
Give examples. Those are just examples of why people are feeling so fearful.
Or maybe fearful instead of peril, that people feel better about that third choice.
There's also many people in this country that are feeling peril because of the illegal immigration that was allowed under another party that's not in power in the White House at this point. There are a lot of people in our town, as well as others, that would say they are in peril.
That's
And they
of course
should
not
have
what I
been,
said.
then, the time for everybody is when their time is. So this
I
is the
think
time.
the whole discussion is a microcosm of what's going on in the whole country. We don't talk to each other. Now, we've got, excuse me for using the term liberal, but we've got one side of the coin here asking us to make a decision while the other side of the subject isn't here. I don't know that this has been brought up, that's gonna be discussed, if anybody would show up or not. But you see where I'm coming from?
Dan, but I think
Some of the things, when you mention the administration, and you mention ICE agents and masks, the other side of the coin is gonna say, there are reasons that those agents are wearing masks. And it may not be just to intimidate.
I agree.
So.
It's terrible. I just want to go back to what I said, because people were saying things that I didn't say.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't say that we all feel in peril. I think our democracy is in peril. It's in peril not only for the conservatives and the MAGA groups or whatever, but also for the liberal groups. That's the problem. And I think locally we have to say that. We have to say, look, things are out of control here. And as a group of people, we support the Constitution. And we don't want to see our democracy fail.
So can we say that?
Well, in a way, I think we should. I mean, it's a very delicate thing, democracy.
Without having, I do want this to be where everybody feels like.
Feels happy about it.
Yeah, which is where I think just if we can get away from some specific language about the current administration and the federal government and just maybe get something that where we acknowledge that the people in our community feel, what did you just say?
Somebody write it
Because you
down
said,
so
so
we
you
can
just
have
said
it.
something that I thought was good and that I think everybody could, about,
Democracy and peril.
Democracy
is in peril.
yeah.
You know, I mean, we don't have to say all this, but we know that, you know, the courts are all over the place right now. The Supreme Court can't make a decision because it's overwhelmed with 10 million decisions. Oh, there's total inaction. Talk about Montpelier. There's total inaction in our legislative branch of the federal government.
Yeah.
All these things are, it doesn't matter what party you're in, all these things are failures. I mean, this democracy is in peril. And I think we need to step up and just say, look, we support our democracy. We believe it.
Yes, and I don't want to speak for everyone on this board right now, but that to me feels more comfortable if we can just, because I just really do want to take the politics out of it. And I understand where some of you are coming with wanting to address some certain actions that are occurring right now. But I just, if it could be something that we're all working on together and find some middle ground, that would be awesome. Go ahead,
The
Ernie.
rule of law is derived from the Constitution, and the Constitution is being violated constantly these days.
Well, we don't have the right.
But not by us,
to
so
make
that's
that
why
decision.
we want to double down and let you know that we
Right.
would not do that. We want you to
Right.
feel comfortable and know that we would not, you know?
Oh, good, did you get it?
And then, yeah, and even, you know, our police department has to follow fair and impartial policing. You know, I mean, that's what we have in Vermont, has some unique protections. So I'm on, I don't know if everyone knows, but I'm on the Judiciary Committee in the State House. We got testimony all day today about law enforcement wearing masks. That was all I heard all day today. So I understand, but we do, but it was also brought in, by Jennifer Morrison, who's our public safety commissioner. Vermont's in a very unique position with our policing because of that Fair and Impartial Policing Act and some other things that exist that protect us from what goes, not completely, it's like you can't say never, but we are in a different situation than other states, let me just say. So the select board also acknowledge, all right, so let's see if we could do, would you think that would be between first and second? So, we, the select board, also acknowledge that there are citizens that are concerned with our overall democracy being in peril. Let's see.
Dan,
Nobody
I'm not
wants
sure.
to belabor this any further.
At least
Well-
I'm gonna say, I think we have to stay fairly general with what we're supporting here, and I think this does cover a lot of things, and I understand everyone's opinions on this. We all might not agree, and that's fine, but I really don't want to zero down on things that we don't have any.
I just want to find, some common ground because they have been coming to multiple meetings now, and,
Could you say something, we're talking about protecting the Constitution or upholding it and following laws and
Yep.
rules. Obviously, the immigration thing could have been solved probably many years ago and done correctly. But if you could somehow incorporate democracy and the Constitution are equal items, by protecting the Constitution or upholding it, you are protecting the democracy. And that doesn't, yes, we're concerned we're losing, some people may not be concerned, thinking that things are fine, but you can't have one without the other. At least our Constitution is such. It's democracy.
So what if be it further resolved that the Select Board of the Town of Pittsford affirms its unwavering commitment to protecting the constitutional rights in furtherance of democracy of all people in our town? Does that work?
Well, we're getting close. If
I'm gonna move the question.
Okay. With just the, with what was originally read at the top of the meeting, correct? Okay.
No, it's what was just put on as a motion and seconded, which is this.
Right, with this,
That's on the
with
floor
this, with this unaltered.
I think we have to call the question, we can't add anything to
No,
it.
that's, yeah, okay, so all in favor say aye? Oh.
I just want to know the process here before I vote on calling this question. If we vote against this and then reconsider another one, that's what.
You have to turn this one down.
If we want to add some
And I'd
language, we have to
further
vote
say-
no on the motion on the floor.
I know you guys have heard enough of it. We've got other things to do. Can we try to clean up the language again a little bit more?
That's good.
Without voting on it tonight.
Can you read what you've got so far?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what we have, because we got a bunch of things going on here now.
We're only gonna vote on right now is what the motion is made.
Correct.
Is that what you just wanted me to read? The what was right here?
Yeah, can you read that again?
Sure. Want me to do it?
Go ahead.
We, the Select Board of the Town of Pittsford, Vermont, promise to uphold both the United States Constitution and the Vermont Constitution. This is part of our oath of office that we pledge every time we are elected or re-elected to our positions within the Select Board for the Town of Pittsford. Be it further resolved that the Select Board of the Town of Pittsford affirms its unwavering commitment to the protection of constitutional rights of all people in our town.
Personally, I think that states it pretty well.
That was the one that you proposed.
That was the one,
Yeah.
the original one for
That's
tonight.
not the
That's not the
original.
original we
Yeah.
had.
It's added on the end.
We added that last paragraph.
Without this.
What's your feeling on that?
I mean, are you comfortable with that, or do you want us to
Add that other-
look at more language?
We could add this other,
The part that you just talked about democracy.
The sentence you had, Alicia, that had democracy being in peril.
I think that's important. And I
Yeah.
don't think anyone in town would have a problem with that. And I also wanted to point out that I understand that you've got to represent the whole town, but you also then may take a vote with your best feeling and instinct and understanding. So that's what we're asking. And if other people want to show up here, they can show up here. They have that right to do so.
Excuse me.
They're not here.
Yeah, I also think that it's so important to move beyond the issue of immigration only, that we go back to the tariffs, people's right to free speech, those kinds of things, beyond the issue that we don't agree on
That's what we're trying to
immigration.
get all that under one umbrella.
It's coming close. I think you're doing well.
There's a lot of thought that went into this.
It is true. It's a lot of work.
Okay, so, all right, so we're gonna vote.
make them understand how we're voting and what's gonna happen. We're gonna vote on the original.
No, this is the one that's been redone for tonight.
Right.
That's
The
His
original
motion
motion
tonight.
was on that for tonight.
Right, but not with all my pencil scratching.
A yes vote that would go into play. A no vote would kill that,
And we'll-
and then you could put in this last paragraph. That's the way it would develop.
Correct.
I'd like to consider that a little bit more. I
Well,
wouldn't
you
be
have
ready
to.
to do it tonight.
Right, you wouldn't have to do it tonight, but that's how you would get that in, if you wanted to do it.
Right.
Or you would have to pass that one and then redo it again if they call for it. There's only two ways you can do it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so yeah, so the question has been called. So all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
So it's dead.
So now there's another motion, right now you just
No,
voted to.
Well,
this
ne-
motion is dead.
So that, now this would allow us to add, try
Yeah, that other piece.
another piece into it.
Democracy in action.
I know, so if, I mean, are you guys willing to come back to another meeting and we can work on this democracy language?
Or do you
Or do
have a spokesman maybe we can communicate with?
Ernie. It seems to be him. God forbid. I know.
Alicia, could you read that sentence one more time?
The one that Ann wrote?
Yeah,
It
the new
didn't pass,
sentence.
it was a tie, so it's
We,
dead.
the select board, also acknowledge that there are citizens that are concerned with our overall democracy being in peril.
There's no majority on it.
There's no majority, so it's dead.
So, I'm sorry, one more, there were a couple
I
of
know.
things going on there. Could we hear that
I know, hold on,
one more time?
let me, so we, the select board, also acknowledge that there are citizens that are concerned with our overall democracy being in peril. Or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll work on it, maybe
That's a
communicate
good
with Ernie and try to get this thing
I
hammered
like
out.
that.
Done, yeah.
I mean, can
I just want to come back to say, it's such a thing to sit and wrestle with it, so I just want to appreciate people leaning into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we'll get there, and I really want to thank Ann for trying to do the original redo.
I know, here, you can give Ann her,
But
It
it's a
is.
hard time.
so we'll bring this,
I'm trying to play Switzerland.
I know,
Well, that's good job, Ann.
and so, yeah, so thanks, I think this is good working with each other, and we will keep working on it.
See you in 2 weeks.
We're almost at town meeting.
That's the day after town meeting, and our next meeting is March
We're not
4th.
in time to do it because we.
So this will be after the town.
Oh, my gosh.
Already gonna have a big agenda.
Yeah, it'd be.
Okay.
It'd be the.
It'd be March 18th.
Yeah, so,
Haven't already.
Ernie, it might have to be the next one, because I'm reminded that that is the meeting right after town meeting where
That
we
we reorganize.
reorganize and do
It's a huge meeting.
a bunch of stuff. So, if it's okay to wait for that, so that would be the second meeting in March, if that works for everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Second meeting.
You're going too?
I'm getting out of here as soon as I can.
I can do that. Matter of fact, when I come to the list. And, I think I should probably, if you want to.
All right,
By another 90%.
I know.
Everybody just has to move down the hall.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, now that'll be.
I will be
jamming down
fast, I promise.
I know, is there any, what can we,
there. We table the rest of it?
is this, any of this, I know, that. So all the way from.
So from enhanced energy to zoning updates, give me 5 minutes. I'll cover it all in 5 minutes.
Let's go. Okay.
Okay. Enhanced energy plan, you have a new one in front of you. Tonight, I'm only asking you to look at it.
Can we wait a second so we can
Yep.
hear you? And, I mean, this
All right, read enhanced energy plan in your own time before next meeting.
Yes.
Got it?
That's it. That's it on that one. I've sent it to the planning commission too. And I think I resolved,
this is,
Before the next meeting again?
this is redone?
Yeah.
yes.
That
This- So
This is new, this is different, so we'll have to read it.
So I did what you guys like. I crossed out everything that's going to be eliminated. I red
Love that.
worded
Thank you.
everything that, the only thing that I'm
Yes.
asking that's not written on there is pages 18 and
Okay,
19
sorry.
have highlighted areas.
Yep.
Yeah,
We need select board, comments on what they would like to see done with those highlighted areas.
Okay.
So if you could do that,
Yep.
it was sent to the planning commission as well. They're meeting next week about it and
Okay.
go from there. We need to get zoning regulations done. I know that Conex Containers and affordable housing definitions were like the two sticking points, right?
You're correct.
Okay. If we pulled Conex containers out and we just make sure that the affordable housing definition is what has to minimally be in there, would that be acceptable?
It has to be the same as the other buildings. That's what we went over in that, right?
For
There was a-
Conex containers, it's been a multifaceted
Yeah, that's been all over
battle,
the place.
so what if we just pulled it back out and went back
That's fine, but
silent on
the
it?
affordable housing too should be the same as
I
the
believe-
other houses,
I
anyone
believe-
else's. That's, I think, one of the other things we
I
discussed,
believe
correct?
all the setbacks are the same for affordable housing and other
Then
houses.
that's all good, right?
Okay.
That's what we were.
Oh, is that what the concern
I
was, the
thought there was-
setbacks?
No, there's not separate.
Well, I thought there was some other variations that were included in that.
I will double check, but I
Please
don't
do,
believe
because
so.
I think if I read
I
through it,
thought there was something else that.
wetlands, and there was a few other things that there were variations given to affordable housing that we didn't agree with. It should be the same as others.
I will look and
Keep it
I
in
will,
order.
because we really,
Conex boxes, we're gonna take that out so that you can put them right on a neighbor's line? Is that what we're saying here?
Conex containers.
That was my concern.
Conex containers, the town has been silent on in zoning
And it's
for
been an issue. And we
forever.
didn't take, we should,
I don't think that is, because it's not in the table of uses, correct?
right, right,
But it's still structure.
exactly.
It's one of those gray murky areas that we've had for years.
It fits the definition of a structure.
I know, it
that's in
shouldn't
the
be
zone.
gray and murky.
I think we talked about making that the same as any other building.
Right, it's a shed.
That's the same as the other one, that's
Any
where
kind of
we
shed,
went.
outbuilding,
It's like a
whatever.
shed. People are getting away with, saying
Bingo.
that they can.
Well, everything should be the same and equal, it shouldn't be
That I
variation for,
agree with consistency,
yeah,
absolutely.
consistency at least.
That's,
you know?
yeah, then people aren't confused when,
Which
yeah.
is all we want from any of this
I
stuff,
don't want
is
one, Mike.
consistency, not variation.
Okay,
I know.
I will get that
Okay, great.
rectified. Tier 3 and road rule regulations, I've given you VLCT update, I'm just giving you the newest one that was sent out yesterday. They're still doing hearings up in Montpelier. VLCT is calling for legislative action to extend temporary Act 250 exemptions to the end of 2030 until a municipality receives Tier 1A approval. Delay Tier 3 road rule guidance to November 26, and delay Tier 3 and road rule implementation until July 2027. So it would,
Is that what they're gonna do?
that's what they're
It's
trying
the
to.
bill is.
That's what they're proposed,
the
doesn't mean they're
bill.
gonna vote for that.
No, but that's what we're hearing is, and Devin did talk to the head of the Land Use Review Board about regionals map, and it looks like a lot of what we wanted to keep before, they're gonna be able to revert from the December back,
All?
most. Yours has been taken care of.
Well, I'm worried about all, because it's a lot of private property.
I
Can I
think,
speak to the private property piece?
Yep, in a second,
Yeah,
let her
1
finish,
minute.
absolutely,
Okay.
Sheriff, yeah.
I have taken to Devin all of the changes for people who have come to me, because I've had board members, but I've also had private citizens come to me. All of those changes have been handed over to Devin. Devin says it looks like a lot of ours that we had as ag and forestry before will be put back to ag and forestry, whether people have asked for it to be switched back from conservation or not.
So I have to run down that road, but can we let him
Yeah,
comment?
yeah.
Well, I think I share exactly what Mark is probably speaking to. I maybe should ask more questions, but I saw my property just all of a sudden get grabbed by these claws telling me what I can and can't do, and extra layers
Violation of
of
democracy, yeah.
extra layers that I have no use for. So
How did you find out, if you don't mind me asking?
we read everything on your website.
Oh, well, good, that's great.
Thank you.
Everything. So-
Because that's part of the bills that are in the State House right now, or to at least
So-
like, make the timelines further out so that landowners know what's going on.
Is this something that's being forced upon us, or do you guys have a say in it? Do you,
Well,
We're being
so yes and
very
yes.
vocal.
Yes and
Okay,
yes.
I
It is being forced on us, and yes, we have a say in it. But it's questionable what our say is gonna be, kinda like Caverly Preschool being shut
Right.
down. We're not in a real democracy in our
it
state
comes to
government
that.
quite often. They just do what,
yes, we know that.
yeah, and that's, so we do have a
That's all I
say.
heard today.
If I could, I'd like to put something out, because Dave Mills gave me a motion that he wanted to put on this. So I'm gonna put, I told him I'd put it on the floor, but, so I'm making the motion, because he's not here, right?
Okay.
Whereas the town of Pittsford sent an updated future land use map to regional planning in the fall of 2025 addressing these issues. That map shall be the future land use map for the town of Pittsford up until such time that the state of Vermont notifies each individual property owner by certified mail as to the state changes to the future use of their property. The map will only be changed by the town with written permission from all of the individual property owners. That is my motion.
Second it.
Can you like snapshot that and text it to
I
me?
will, I already did, I had to, because he texted it to me.
Can you send it to me? Because that's
Yeah.
a lot of words.
I know, that was a lot of words,
That's a lot of
so
words.
that's,
You want me to repeat it for you once?
no, I got it, I'm just like, so,
And I will let you know that VLCT has advocated at the state level that any property owners that are going to be subject to Tier 3 and the Act 250 should be getting a letter from the state of
And
Vermont.
that's what this motion from this board is saying they have to do if they're gonna be
Before
out
the
doing
map
that.
goes into effect.
And that way they have a chance to come in and
Well, I mean,
comment.
if they want to buy my property because they actually devalue it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In true
Exactly.
fashion, you know, it may be a really nice piece of property, but if nobody can put in a bloody swimming pool,
Yeah, that's, what's it worth?
you know, without 2 years' worth of red tape, because I know everything that the state does is, I'll use a proper word, blundered.
there you go.
That is accurate.
All right, well, any further discussion on that?
Oh, who's this?
Sorry, hey,
I'm sorry, Wesley Tipton. I'm trying to make my video work, but it doesn't seem like it's working.
okay.
Like that said, I'm trying to start a cannabis business. I have an existing structure that is being leased to me. It's only 230 square feet. It is currently a lean-to that I just want to enclose. Like I said, 230 square foot. I submitted the zoning planning for it and everything. Jeff was in charge of it. It seems like he's been let go since I last spoke to him. And I know that Anna's taking over, which is great. I spoke to her as well. But is this going to be an issue for me at all to get this cannabis business up and running via the town? Like, are there any objections to that, or can we just go ahead and like, is everybody slingshot this and maybe do the ropes a little quicker?
This won't have any effect on you at this moment.
No,
Not yet.
we'll let Ann answer that question, she may,
So as I told you earlier today, I have to research it and get back to you on what you're asking for in the land you're asking for it. What they're talking about now is overall in the town of Pittsford. Act 250 right now would not come into play for what you're discussing. In the future, with this land use map revision, yes, it could come into play, depending upon what that parcel is mapped at. So I will definitely get back to you next week on your email that you sent with all of your information. But what we're talking about right now and what you're talking about are two completely different things.
I hear you. Thank you for hearing me. Greatly appreciate it. I know it's been a very long conversation this evening. I just wanted to try to jump in there because I missed it when you were talking about zoning. So I just wanted to jump in there real quick and revisit it.
Yep.
Not trying to hold anyone up.
no, you're fine, no, thank you.
Awesome. Hey, thank you all. Have a good evening, and I greatly appreciate your time and your efforts, what you're doing with the town.
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you.
take
Thank
care.
Yep.
So I know,
Move the
forgot we
question.
were voting.
Move the question.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm getting tired, I'm forgetting when things are happening. All right, what else do we got, Ann, to get through this,
The municipal resolution for Tier 1B status we can't do until after our zoning regulations have been done. So we need to get our zoning regulations done or we're in jeopardy of losing our Tier 1B status ability.
What can we do to move that along?
So we just have to fix the zoning regs, which I will meet with planning commission next week.
Okay,
I know what needs to be
all right.
corrected, get it done, get the hearings set and done by the end of March for both planning commission and select board.
Okay.
And then Actually, it'd have to be before your March 18th meeting, or we're gonna have to hold a special meeting just to approve the hearing. Oh,
Yeah, and if we
I
have to
will
do
write
that,
out
that's
a,
fine,
I
yeah.
will write out a
Yep.
timeline.
No, that's fine.
Sorry.
Nope, fine.
Thank God for you.
All right, and then, so zoning updates, tax map,
So that gets you down to zoning updates, which
we can move,
we can move that.
Okay.
There's not much to update other than
And then that tax
Brian
map
Cole
maintenance
status.
proposal, can that wait, or do we
tax
need
map
to?
maintenance proposal. This was something we tabled from last meeting. This
Oh,
is a basic thing.
forgot.
It's an annual thing that we do with Lisa Wright for the Access GIS mapping that we have for our
Oh,
properties.
yeah.
So because it's over $7,000, I don't believe I can personally approve it, so that's why it's in here. It just
Oh.
needs your guys' yes, you can do this again.
Yeah,
So moved.
yeah.
And we did go over it with Franco and make sure it's correct.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yep. Town meeting updates, do we have, I see we're having, dessert,
Dessert potluck, I've got that part down.
all the parents that I'm gonna try to get to bring their kids are gonna be pissed at us. They're like, great for all this sugar.
I'm still working on trying to find the childcare part, but I've got the sugar part covered.
Oh, we don't have the childcare piece?
I'm working on
Okay.
it.
All right.
I'm.
If we get that and people bring their kids, I'm gonna have to bring some real food so they're not mad.
You can bring like
Popcorn.
carrots and dip and popcorn and chips. And
I was thinking like, soup, stew.
Good idea. We're
Anyway,
looking forward
okay.
to it.
Yep. I get your point. Chad, you're up. It's only been 2 hours. Hour and a half. Sorry, hour and a half.
buddy.
Yeah, that's all right. Enjoying the show.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I'm happy for you.
I'm glad you are.
All right, crack sealing equipment pricing.
Yeah, I got the salesman for Alta Equipment. Reached out. They have a 2024 crack sealing machine available. We've rented one the last 3 years. This is, I brought my glasses. 58,500. It's about 10,000 cheaper than a brand new one, like a 2026.
Oh, okay.
So there's a discount being
Yep.
at 24. Like I said, last 3 years we've rented it. We get it for a month, which is, I believe it's around 4,800 that we rent it for.
4,800?
A month.
And it's, 2 hours drive to pick it up and bring it back.
So more like 6,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then plus material, which obviously we'd still have to buy material anyways.
Yep.
Just having our own would obviously allow us to do more, not be limited to the time that we have. We could get more done. It's recommended doing it before any roads are paved, sealing the cracks, plus other newly, like 3 to 5 year old roads that are showing cracks there, just to help keep the water out and maintain it.
Yep.
There's other towns in the area that rent as well that we could kind of maybe take over, rent it to the
Geez,
those
you're
towns.
thinking the way I am right now. All right. Closer.
There is the thought of going in with other towns. Nothing against other towns, but I don't like that.
Sharing equipment's
I
a hard
like to be
thing.
in control.
At least you can admit that, Chad.
Yeah, I have no problems, like, I know like West Rutland has done it, they're a small crew, 1 or 2 of us go and help them with it, whatever, rate wise, I don't know, figure something out like that if that happens, but that was just, like I said, something that we'd kind of talked about. It had been mentioned to the salesman. He had this come up and reached out.
What do we have in equipment replacement? Plenty?
Well, we need some trucks too, so it's gonna be carried.
Well, that's what I know, so not plenty if we're talking about trucks also.
More by the moment.
No, but we have
We'll be
enough.
good. With the way things are coming in and going out, we'll still be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, by the time we get to
So-
the trucks.
So really, our purchase is covering 10 years roughly a rental. Is that accurate?
10 to 12, and we would get more done
Right.
throughout the year.
So is there a possibility for another town or two that we could rent this to?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know Town of Goshen already asked about, like, when we rent ours this year to let him know. You know, he kind of jump on our rental.
So if you were to rent it, would our guys go run it?
We'd,
Okay.
yeah,
It would
probably,
go somewhere
probably
as
like
well.
two of us.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of the crew.
So you know.
Yeah, the big, like,
what's going on.
one of the big things, the material you put in is, it's rubber encased in styrofoam. The whole thing goes into the box, gets melted down. Biggest thing is keeping it clean, because any pebbles that get on that styrofoam get in there, and then it plugs the wand. So that's...
Just a couple concerns with renting it out. So if our guys are going to do this, are they gonna be providing safety as in traffic control while this is going on? And do we have the time in our work budget to have these guys go out and do this work for Goshen and maybe one other town?
There's, yeah, I mean, we can squeeze it in. The safety-wise traffic control.
Would be up to them?
It'd be up to the town.
Well, I only asked that because we're having our guys go out of town.
Right.
And that,
Yeah, I mean, that would be, yeah, that'd be up to them if they run it like us.
I think it's.
Not gonna worry about that.
It's been.
Yes, that would be up to them.
no, I am, because we're sending our employees out of town. and I think we have to know that. We have to have some kind of insurance.
We'll have a contract.
Yeah, we have to have a contract with insurance
Right.
coverage.
Right, yeah, I mean, that would,
That would be part of the contract that they provide
yeah.
safety for our crew.
But even if we don't do that, to me, this looks like pretty much a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Long as, it's a no-brainer as long as I think we can have some other income come from it. You know, it's a 10-year investment, right? How long do you think this is gonna last for?
Honestly,
Should
I don't
last a
know,
long
it
time, I
should
hope.
last,
Not a whole lot of
it should
moving
last
parts.
10, 15 to,
Yes and no, but you always, I don't know, I've never used this.
What is
piece of
10 or
equipment, so.
15 out of your trucks?
Probably down cold
we get
storage.
10 out of the trucks.
Yeah.
We're gonna house it down cold storage. Got room down there?
Once we get, yeah, we'll find room, yes.
We're gonna have to build a new public.
But even if we
works,
don't rent it
building.
out, I think it's not costing much or anything more per year than it
Yeah.
is to rent.
So we're,
Now Chad can use it on his schedule
Yeah,
rather
no, I think
than-
it makes sense.
yeah, I think it does.
Okay.
And what's the total cost?
58.5.
$60,000.
Make a motion, we spend the 58.5 on the new unit for
Is that gonna
Chad.
cover everything?
Like cover it all?
Is that tax and stuff, or like
There's
every?
no tax,
no
we're,
tax.
Yeah, not for
Right.
municipal.
municipality.
Yeah,
gotta
and
go
it's a
get
New
it.
How did I
Hampshire.
not know that?
That cover it?
That's the quote, 58.5.
All right.
And is this self-transporting, or do we have to, we don't need to buy a trailer or anything for this?
No, it is a
Says
trailer. I was gonna print off a picture of it. But it is a trailer.
Self-contained.
Oh,
Trailer unit's got the hydraulic oil, motor, it's all enclosed, everything together. Tank that heats up the liquid and wand on it, so.
sounds good to me.
Pull up a picture.
We
if
have
you
a
wanna look.
motion.
Yeah,
Waiting for a
we don't have a
second.
second.
Oh.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I think there needs to be a stipulation in that we are gonna get some other kind of income from this,
Well, I hope so.
Well, hope so and having
Well,
it is two different
I
things,
mean,
so.
that's,
I think
I mean, like I said, I'm all for
one or two,
renting out to other towns,
one or
just
two
not
others, yeah.
well, there's nothing
alone.
saying they're gonna
With
rent.
at least
so I mean,
one,
that's
at least
kind of
one of us as an
Right.
a
operator
motion.
with
So it
them.
would be if they had time.
If they have, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, as long as that's,
But yeah, I
That's
mean,
the-
we can,
plan, but I don't know if
I
we
mean,
can.
this
put
year
that-
will be a little busier sweeping roads, but we'll have time.
I'd rather vote on a piece of equipment over 7 years than 10, so that's why I put that stip in. Okay.
Well, hopefully that's what'll
All
happen.
right. Any other questions? Further discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
I had a picture of it for a minute.
Okay, I don't need, we'll look at it when it,
Bring-
call us when it comes in, Chad, so we can all
Yeah,
look
we'll
at
go
it.
look at it.
Yeah, come play with it.
Bring it around, yeah.
Okay, adoption of town road and bridge standards, this
That's
is
just standard.
yearly.
So, no,
No, different?
Is
the
it
new
different this
one,
year?
the annual one is the next thing on the agenda.
Oh.
This year, the state of Vermont updated from the 2019 road.
Look at,
town
I
road
said
and
that and
bridge
I even
standards.
highlighted the changes and I'm tired, it's late.
To 2026 standards, and really, Chad can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe this is gonna impact Pittsford with the changes because
Aren't we already doing this? Aren't we already making all the culverts 18 inch when we
Yes.
replace them? So we're already in
We're
compliance
already in
with the
compliance,
updated.
but I need you
Just to
all
sign
to
off on
sign
it?
off on it.
Yeah. Pass
and
it
then-
along.
Well, you have to approve it, you have to make a motion and approve.
Okay.
Adopt it.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
And then it's the annual certification of compliance for these new standards.
yep, okay,
Well, actually, it says that the 2019 ones, so you're
Yep.
good either way.
Read it.
okay, yep.
It's a lot of reading.
I know, I read it too.
I'm sorry.
Actually, I was,
You need a motion on that too?
Yep.
So moved.
Second it.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
So Municipal, you don't have anything in your packets. We just got it today. There's actually Municipal and IntelliPay both. We just want approval to go forward. It's zero cost to the town, but is going to allow us to be able to take credit cards, ACH,
Yes.
and
Yeah, we-
e-checks
Yeah.
through our website.
Yeah.
We're just trying to decide between the two, which is gonna be the best
okay.
for the townspeople, but we want just permission to move forward, because usually it's a town clerk decision.
Oh.
So, we
I
just,
move that we move forward with the municipal pay or whatever Ian decides to use for this.
Municipal
We've already
and
talked
telepay.
about
Oh, there's gonna be
Yeah.
a lot of happy people in town that can start being able to pay with a credit card.
No, no. Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
thank you.
They got paid.
Thank you. This is, we're like 25 years behind the times.
I just, do they have to pay a fee?
So the people, yes, so
Okay,
the
do it
people
then.
swiping the credit cards will, and if you do, and it's based on dollar amount on what the fee is, and if you do an ACH, which is just like an automatic withdrawal from your checking account, it's a flat fee of $1.50, I think. So,
This is to pay online though, correct?
Pay online.
Okay, because
Yeah.
you can already pay with a credit card in the clerk's office and there is,
Right.
there is a fee.
right, but this will
They
be
cover
so that they
costs.
can, at midnight, if you're up paying your
Which
bills,
is-
because you're like me.
Right, which
you
is
can
what
just go
most people
online
do, so
and
this is gonna
do
be
it
great.
and not have to worry about, it's 8 to 4:30.
Awesome, thank you. Okay. Wow, we just got our audit and we're already looking at the contract for the next
26
one.
Contract, and I did reach out to previous auditor, as soon as I got this, and I have not heard back from them at all.
Okay.
So I think we're, for fiscal year 26, gonna
You
be.
comfortable with everything and how they did it?
I am, and I actually like RHR, it's not the same people every year, so it's fresh eyes on our stuff
Oh,
every
yeah,
year.
that's good.
So,
I thought it was a good document and it was here in timely fashion,
Yep.
so.
and they would have had it faster, but with all of the turnover this year, we scrambled to find some stuff and understand it ourselves to be able to send it to them. But the guy Chris and the team that we dealt with this year was really good,
So your
top
guidance
notch.
would be that we go with them again?
I would like to go with RHR again. I think they're a good team, and like I said, they rotate through, so it's not the same people every
Is it
year.
the same price as last year?
No, it is up.
How much?
$6,000 or $7,000, I think, more
On what total bill?
on the total bill. So this one is gonna be $34,320.
Quite an increase, isn't it?
I'm looking at it right now.
It is,
17%?
That's crazy.
That's a little excessive.
and we are down to like 3 audit firms in
Health
the state
insurance
of
for their
Vermont right
employees,
now.
right? I don't know.
Probably, I don't know.
17%?
And they know it.
And they're having to follow all the new GASB stuff too. And we're following suit with all the new GASB rules. And now they have the new, whatever they call them, the SOCs they have to do, which they wrote out in their letter explaining it.
Been at 2 years for us? Or one?
They've done 2.
2. I think we could go one more year before,
And-
you know.
If we want to in fiscal year 27, try to switch auditors, we're gonna have to get an RFP out this June for the following year.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have to have some competitive bid on this at 17% increase, but
And
I'm fine with
I-
going one more year.
I have reached out to S&P. Yeah, because they're one of the only other auditors still doing municipal
Jeez,
audits
really?
in the state of. When I started, there were like 10 different firms. There's now down to 3 because of all of
Bless you.
Thank
the
you.
extra stuff that is now required for a municipal.
So I think we should try to get out and get at least a bid from all 3 for next
Oh,
time.
yeah, sure.
I'll make a motion to go along with this proposal for this
Okay.
year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
They've sent us a dollar proposal.
Yeah, that's what we have to sign.
Can we try to negotiate that a little bit? I mean, that's 17%.
That's different.
It is.
Is the job getting bigger?
It
Well,
is.
that's what she said the
It's
other
getting more complicated. And we're trying to help them out as much as we can this last year. And I think one of the reasons it went up so much is with the new GASB regulations and stuff, we weren't ready for what we needed to do. So there was a lot of back and forth that wasn't anticipated with their original bid for this last fiscal year's. I think we'll be better prepared going forward with the staffing we have and knowing what we need.
Could we try to negotiate and bargain with the fact that because you're here now, we'll be in better shape when it comes down to this?
Well, I was here last year too, but,
I think we're gonna need to do that on the competitive.
it's gonna have to be a competitive bid for fiscal
that's
year
a big
27.
increase. It's
huge.
I understand that. This is the way it's going and it stinks. But I, like I said, as soon as I got this, I reached out because I remembered Tom's comment before, and I have heard nothing back from the.
Call the question.
Oh, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We make sure we get those out before June to the all 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okey doke.
All right.
All right, ZBA, we do have a possible, so zoning board is down
So
a lot of.
zoning board of adjustment currently is a 7-member board. Gary Kupfer has asked me to propose that we take it to a 5-member board with 2 alternates. Due to the fact that right now they only have 6 members, we're really struggling with a quorum. And, we have some health issues with one. One is out of town 4.5 months out of the year. It's making it increasingly difficult to hold ZBA hearings. If we had 5 with 2 alternates, we only need 3 to show up and to get a.
What's the
Majority.
process for that? Does that need to go out to the voters?
Nope, it's right here.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
No, according to Gary, because I asked him.
No, that's good.
What,
So they're, right now 7 members, but they're down 1?
We're down 1, we're down to 6 because Clarence Greeno resigned earlier this year and I'd given it to you.
There's 1 possible candidate.
Yes, this one here.
It makes sense to go down to a 5-member board just because
But
it's getting
Gary-
harder to get people to be on boards.
And Gary says, if you have 7 people, 2 of them are alternates and they can jump in
I
when.
agree with Gary.
I know.
yeah.
I'll make a motion that
Yep.
we move to a 5-member board with 2 alternates as recommended by our attorney, Kupfer.
Second it.
So
Go ahead. Further
do
discussion.
they, would the ZBA itself decide who's gonna be the alternates? Or is that here?
Can I make a recommendation?
I guess so.
Due to Charlie Simpson's health, I think it'd be better to have him as an alternate right now. We don't know if and when he's going to be able to be back and participate in hearings, unfortunately, due to his medical event. And then Ernie coming on could be the alternate.
Who is it?
Do that?
Ernie's
I think
the
we decide.
Ernie who? Ernie.
Ernie Reset.
It's always been done.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh.
That's only been done in executive session and the board decides
Okay.
the alternate.
That's fine.
So they don't do that
Good
themselves?
answer.
Do they decide who
Thank you
is
for
their
that
president?
reminder.
No, the ZBA decides that themselves.
Right.
What's that?
Who's their lead officer?
Who's their
president?
chair?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, they picked a
They
chair.
reorganize just like
Yeah,
every other
yeah,
board.
they do.
I know. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anything on the orders? including, there wasn't sheet at your table. At your seat, I should say.
Yeah, I had one, I'm sorry. Fees are fairly large.
I apologize for that.
Well, it's just the way it is, man. I just gotta find that one of
That chair right there is looking pretty sad. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if we
know
want
that.
to keep that in
Might wanna
the
go
mix
down
there.
cellar.
Oh, they all came up from that cellar,
Oh,
so maybe
You might wanna go out.
might want to go out
Might wanna
back.
go out.
We have a couple of them that are
I
looking a
get a
little.
pass, I can't see it. so-
That's all right.
Yeah,
Okay,
wasn't
then,
that big a deal.
we'll sign the orders.
We cleaned me up.
I'm ready to go to bed.
That needs to be signed.
Last night's meeting was really late too. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Um,
See ya.
Thank you.
This one lost its paper clip somehow.
You want to use this
Oh,
one?
there we go. That probably fell off something. There you go.
We lost all, we're losing people. It's getting too late.
Yep. I tried to fly. I'm
Everybody's
sorry.
good. No, it was
You did
not.
fine.
It was not. What was no one's
I
fault?
know it was a lot.
We had two weighty topics right at the top of the hour there. Well, this is an interesting.
That's the one for the tax map. There's a retainer invoice too for RHR, that if you can sign it so we can keep them as our auditors. I forgot that part.
So I have to add that one to the orders?
Yep, sorry. I'm slipping.
Oh, so this is two.
And I've got the liquor stuff over here for after.
Is that it?
So,
I don't know why I said
For
that's
now.
it. Oh, it's like 7,000 of them.
You don't have to sign either one of these. We'll both have some.
All right, well, Mark's just signing. We'll recess select board and open up as liquor board where we have the Proctor Pittsford Country Club, first class restaurant bar license, and third class restaurant bar and license and outside consumption permit, and then Dollar General's tobacco license. These are,
make them, we prove all of them.
okay.
No problem with any of them.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, that ends liquor board, open back up into select board, and unless there is anything else, I will take a motion to go in executive session in accordance with 1 VSA 313A, where premature general public knowledge would clearly place the municipality or person involved at a substantial disadvantage to discuss the appointment, employment, or evaluation of a public officer or employee, provided that the public body must make the final hiring or appointment decision, explain its reasons for the decision in open meeting 1 VSA 313A3 to include the town manager. I know, where's my second? All in favor say aye. Aye.